Yes, Jamie, this is exactly what the Israeli army is saying, and the messages coming out of the Israeli government from the Prime Minister on to the Defense Minister and the Chief of Staff is that Israel is now in a gradual military operation, meaning there are further steps escalating the magnitude of this operation if there will be no resumption of negotiations along the Witkoff plan. The Witkoff plan, which calls for the release of some 11 living hostages and 16 hostage bodies. Israel saying that if this does not happen, then things will escalate, and therefore in some areas of Gaza, residents have been told to evacuate once again further inland into the city, especially from the areas closer to the Israeli border, to the east of the Gaza Strip, further into Gaza City, further into Khan Yunis. As far as Israel is concerned, this is just the beginning, and this military operation will only escalate further.
And what's the reaction from within the country and internationally?
So internationally, we're speaking of a lot of criticism. There's support from the United States, but that's pretty much it. Even the UK, a close ally of Israel, is calling for an urgent return to ceasefire. Of course, also calls to stop the military operation coming from the United Nations. Within the country, as everything, Israel is very divided. On the one hand stands the opposition with hostage families who are very much concerned that this military operation will have an effect on the hostages remaining in Gaza. Some of them spoke this morning of their concerns. Let's listen.
Care about the hostages. As far as they're concerned, if we are not here, if we don't remind them about it, as far as they're concerned, the hostages can stay there. For them, they're a burden, because all they want is to keep their chair, is to keep themselves in power.
I have no idea what is going to happen to the remaining hostages if the fighting keeps on going for the following week. It's an absolute disaster.
So hostage families and their supporters are very much concerned, as we've heard. On the other hand, there are many supporters of the move within the Israeli cabinet. Not surprisingly, we're speaking of the far-right ministers, Bezalel, Smotrich, and the former and the incoming Minister of National Security, Itamar Ben-Gvir, who left the government some 2 months ago when the ceasefire was declared. He will return to government, be appointed again as Minister of National Security, probably tomorrow. Ben-Gvir and Smotrich saying that this is the right path. Only military pressure will defeat Hamas, will bring the hostages back, according to Ben-Gvir and Smotrich. On the other hand, we heard a lot of concern for the remaining 59 hostages. At least 24 of them are alive, and no one knows what this operation will mean for their fate.
Jonathan, thank you for that. Our correspondent Jonathan Regev in Tel Aviv.